Yo, what's up guys? This is MidnightWabbit and welcome back to another episode of my Legendary Weapons Guide here on Borderlands the pre-sequel. And today the weapon we're going to be covering is the Excalibastard. It's like a King Arthur, like Sword in the Stone type Easter egg thing within, I almost said Borderlands 2, again, within Borderlands the pre-sequel. Now, this gun is a little bit different. It's obviously, it's a good gun. I mean, it's a legendary, so it's not going to totally suck, but it's actually, it's one of the better lasers out there, including the legendary. As far as all the legendary lasers go, I think this is probably the best one. Like, as far as I'm aware, this is probably it's probably the best one overall. So yeah, actually, I'll talk about that in a minute. Anyway, so what I'm going to show you guys first is how to get this gun. Now, what you're going to want to do to get this gun is you're going to want to travel to Triton Flats, and where that is located is right here in the center of the map. You unlock this area about maybe a little between a third and halfway through the campaign, I think, something like that. You come back here several times. This is not where the gun is actually located. You're going to have to take a vehicle, or you can just walk, but it'll take a while to get over here. And then you're going to take this jump pad up here, and you're going to travel to a place called Stanton's Liver. And this is where the gun itself is actually found. Now, because this is an Easter egg, this is like a sword in the stone type thing, what you're going to have to do is you have to take the route I'm about to show you, and you're going to walk up to the gun, and you have to pull it out. The gun is, because it always has that blade attachment. The one I have is not just special in that way. All the parts are fixed. So all of the parts will always be the same scope, the same barrel, same everything. So all the stats for each level will be fixed. And you can see there it is way over there. You actually have to pull it out of the stone. It's stuck by the blade in the stone. So and then you get an achievement called the gun in the stone for taking it out, I think. I remember correctly. But there it is right here on the edge of this cliff. It says, "Art thou badass enough?" And yeah, it's a pretty cool gun, actually. It's like I said, it's a legendary laser. It's a legendary laser, but it's a railgun laser. It's not like one of the blaster ones or the continuous beam lasers or anything like that. This is one of those railgun lasers. But, I mean, obviously this one's a legendary, so there's certain things about it that are a little bit different, which we'll talk about here in a second. The most important thing that you guys need to know is before you pull this gun out, you can't just pull it out whenever you want. You have to have at least 2,500 badass rank. Like you can see the badass rank right there. It has to be at least 2,500 or higher for you to pull out this gun. I don't know what happens, because I've never tried it with lower than that, so I don't know what happens if you try to pull it out and you don't. I don't know if I don't know. I doubt it deletes your character or something, but I don't know what it does. Probably just says thou aren't badass enough or something. I don't know. Maybe it pushes you off the cliff. That'd be funny. I don't know. But anyway, you can always check your badass rank by going over here in the inventory or the menu or whatever. You can check your badass rank right there, and you can only obtain this gun once per character. Once you have 2,500 badass rank. So, and that is across multiple playthroughs. So if I got this gun at level 20 on my first playthrough, it would not appear again in True Vault Hunter mode. It would not appear again for the rest of that character. Even if even if there was a level expansion pack that came up, it would not appear. You can only obtain it once per character. So it's probably wise to wait until you are max level. Like this one, this is a level 50 version. So this is the exact stats and everything you guys will get. Now, this gun is always cryo. It's always a cryo element. It's a railgun laser, and I don't know if you guys saw on the item card, but the accuracy on this one is actually 100. There's 100% accuracy on this, which for a railgun laser is very, you can see with the hip fire there, it's very accurate if you aim for a critical hit, like hip fire or something like that, which is what makes this gun so good if you're down, because you can actually aim at the head or the critical spot while they're reloading. You just the head on the regular enemies like these. You can aim straight for the head and get a critical shot, and it has plus 110% critical damage. It always does. The melee attacks have a chance to freeze enemies like that, as you can see. And you can see right there, if you kill an enemy that was frozen by this gun, if you kill the enemy that was frozen by this gun, if you kill the enemy with this gun, it will create a cryo nova that will freeze other enemies in a small radius, which is kind of cool. So these guys, they're not going to create the nova because they were not frozen with this gun. They were frozen by my Oz kit, which is not the same thing. They have to actually. It counts if the melee. I think it counts if they're frozen by the nova as well. So I think it can chain multiple times. So yeah, it always has that plus 50% melee damage. It will always have that. It has a chance to freeze people when you melee them. It has a chance to freeze upon melee contact and stuff. And then the accuracy is 100%. So, and what that means really, like I was talking about before, how accurate it is when you're down. You can see right here, most railgun lasers. I mean, you guys have ever used any of the railguns in this game? When you're hip firing them, like when you're down or something like that, they kind of shoot off at like slightly. They're slightly angled. Like they don't go straight line every single time. They kind of go off at like slight angles. A lot of the time. This one always goes in a straight line because of the 100% accuracy. So it will always land right where your crosshair is, no matter what. It will always go right where the crosshair is on your screen. So you can see right here, like I was actually about to die, and I do manage to kill that guy. I got pretty lucky there actually, but and also it's a Hyperion, so the longer you shoot it, the more accurate it becomes. So like I said, it's a very good weapon to have for when you're down, especially because even long range, I've gotten kills with this thing across the map, like while I was down hip firing. Like you gotta pick your shots very carefully. You can't just start spraying. You gotta like aim, and like it's come down to like the last like millisecond a couple of times, and this gun has actually revived me, like from the elemental damage or also just from the critical hit damage itself. It has a large critical hit damage bonus, and it also has a pretty high elemental effect chance. I think it has 40% elemental effect chance, which is a pretty high elemental effect chance, I think, for a railgun. Most of them are around like 10 to 20 that I've seen, I think, or most weapons are around 10 to 20, unless they're special in some way. Except maybe I think rocket launchers might be a little higher. I'm not sure. I'm not entirely sure. But anyway, yeah, this is actually, so like I said, this is probably, in my opinion, the best of the legendary lasers, and it's definitely the easiest to get in the game because it has a guaranteed drop location, and it is a 100% chance that you're going to get it. So if you go there in search of this gun, you will get it. You just have to make sure that you have 2500 badass rank at least, and you have to make sure that you're at a level that you're comfortable with, because the gun will be that level, and then you'll never be able to get another version of this gun on that character. Now, I guess you can always back up your save file and like either give the gun to a friend or someone, or put it in your vault and then save without quitting, and then come back in so it doesn't save on your character, but it saves on your profile or something like that. And you could always, I guess, technically get an infinite number of these for like as many levels as you wanted. I don't know. I just say, if you don't want to go through the trouble of doing that, I say just wait till level 50 to get this gun. It's definitely worth the wait. It's a really good gun, and you can see at level 50 it still tears through the enemies. It's a very, very good gun. Haven't tried this against any bosses or something like that, but I'm guessing like the final boss, the Empyrean Sentinel or something like that, he has a really big critical hit spot. I think a gun like this would be very good for that, because it's very, very accurate and has the critical hit damage bonus as well built into it. So I think that's pretty cool as well. So this is kind of an unorthodox way of getting a legendary, but it is still a legendary weapon, and it does still have all the attributes of a legendary weapon. It's a pretty good gun. It's definitely one of my favorite legendaries in the game that I've found so far. It's definitely one of the ones that I think is the best. Not necessarily. It's pretty cool. It's not necessarily the coolest one, but it's definitely one of the best overall. It has a lot of abilities with the cryo stuff that has to do with the melee damage and all that. It has a lot of abilities that are not immediately apparent once you obtain the gun. But anyway, I'm just kind of rambling on a little bit right now. But anyway, hopefully you guys did enjoy this. If you did, please be sure to leave a like and a comment, and subscribe if you have not already. And definitely leave comments down in the description, or leave comments down in the comment section, and I will try to answer every single one of those comments. If I actually like a relevant question or something like that, or if you guys have any suggestions for like what the next, either another video idea, another series idea, or what the next episode of the Legendary Weapons Guide should be over, then by all means let me know, and I will try to make that happen for you guys. Hopefully you guys did enjoy, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Peace.